So, what is a lease purchase? A lease purchase simply means leasing your home to somebody who wants to eventually buy it. We call this type of buyer a tenant buyer, as they would start off as a tenant and then they would eventually buy the property from you after a year or two. A tenant buyer might not be able to qualify for a mortgage right now, but while they lease the property from you, they will work on building their credit, and when they can qualify for a mortgage, they will purchase the property from you at full retail value, typically after 1 or 2 years. So here are a few of the ways you can benefit from our lease purchase program. We'll help you to find a tenant buyer for your property, and our services cost you nothing. We take our fee from the tenant buyer, and there are no commissions for you to pay when you do eventually sell the house. You get to keep all of the rent every month, and you get your full asking price for the house when they eventually buy it from you. When a tenant buyer moves into the home, we make them responsible for the day-to-day maintenance and repairs from the time they sign the agreement. Plus, tenant buyers tend to take better care of the home than a regular tenant would, since they are eventually going to buy the home. This means you don't have to worry about time-consuming landlord issues. We pre-screen our tenant buyers to ensure they don't have any criminal convictions. We get references from previous landlords, and we make sure they're in a stable job so they can afford to pay your rent on time every month. We already have many qualified tenant buyers on the verge of getting a mortgage that are looking for homes in your neighborhood, so we can find somebody for your home fast. You always have the final say on the tenant buyer that moves into your house. We will pre-screen them to make sure that you get a great tenant buyer, but you always have the final say on who moves in. So if for whatever reason you don't like the person we find for your house, you are under no obligation to accept them. Our agreement is non-exclusive. This means if you change your mind before we find a tenant buyer, or if you find somebody for your house before we do, that's totally fine. All you need to do is let us know and we can cancel the agreement. You get to keep 100% of all of the rent every month. The monthly rent is paid directly to you each and every month. So if you decide that rent to own is for you, here is a step-by-step guide to how it all works. Step 1. Click the button beneath the video. This will take you to a form where you can give us more information about your property. Here is also where you can tell us how much rent you want to get for the house and how much you would like to sell it for. Step 2. We will take a look at the information you've submitted about your property, and we will do some research about the local neighborhood. If we think your house is well suited to the rent-to-own program, we will send you our rent-to-own agreement. Step 3. You take a look at the agreement, and if you have any questions, you can speak to a member of our team before you sign anything. Then, if you're happy with it, you just sign it and send it back to us by fax or by email. Step 4. We'll start marketing your property to our list of tenant buyers. Step 5. We start to arrange viewings, and when we find a good tenant buyer, we will run background checks. If you're happy with the tenant buyer, they will move into your house and begin paying rent. Step 6. Your tenant buyer will pay you rent for 1 to 2 years. Then, when they are ready to do so, we'll buy the house from you at the agreed price. So if you want us to find a tenant buyer for your home, all you need to do to get started is simply click the button beneath this video and fill out the information form. We will do some online research on the property, and we will give you a call to let you know if we feel we can find a tenant buyer for your property. Just click on the button beneath this video to get started.